Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. So in a previous video we went through off-camera flash and I went through my simple three-step process on how to go from, just starting from the bare basics to getting a wonderful off-camera flash image. One of the things that I mentioned in that video is once you've taken your off-camera flash image, then you'll need to take your photo into Lightroom and into Photoshop to do all of your post-processing or your editing and making any adjustments that would be pertinent to your preferences. So what I've done here, and in this video what I'd like to take you through, is using two tools within Photoshop that are incredibly powerful that allow you to take out things that I mentioned in my previous video, such as light stands, lights, photographer's assistants, unwanted guests, dust, debris, hair from your lens. There's many things that you can remove using these two simple tools that are within Photoshop that I'm going to share with you. Please keep in mind that this image is not how it looks straight out of camera. What I have done to save you time in this tutorial is I've actually taken the out of camera image, taken it into Lightroom, and made the adjustments that I needed to for my own preferences, such as straightening the horizon, using my favorite preset, adding a little bit more vibrancy to get that golden hour sunset coming out, and so forth. So just keep in mind, this is not how it looks straight out of camera. I have taken it into Lightroom and made my adjustments already. The sole purpose of this video is to show you two methods on how to remove objects that we don't want in the photo. Alright, so let's dive into tool number one, which is the clone stamp tool. You can find that right here on the left. What the clone stamp tool allows you to do is basically select any part of your image that you think is going to be good to be used to overwrite another piece of an image that you want to be removed. That's a huge tongue twister. So let's actually start using this, and it'll make more sense once we dive in. So let's left click on the clone stamp tool and select clone stamp tool. What we're going to do is go up to the top, select an appropriate brush size. Let's go down to 100 pixels. And then what we're going to do is we're going to keep the left Alt button pressed, and we're going to find a piece of this image that will look good to overwrite this piece of the photographer assistant's vest. So if we think about this, we can easily take this part of the image right here to overwrite this piece here. So let's go ahead and do that. What we'll do is we'll select right on the horizon of where the trees meet the field, and I still have the left Alt button pressed, and I'm going to press the left mouse cursor button to select this piece as the piece that I want copied. And then I'm going to let go of both the cursor as well as the left Alt button. As you can see, the cursor has now changed. Now we can go over here, and basically our mouse movements will translate into copying what we move over the portion that we want to copy over. So if my mouse moves up, it will copy whatever is in the path going up to the path where my mouse is moving up. So let's see what that looks like. Starting on the horizon, I will keep my left mouse button pressed, and as you can see, there's another crosshair on the left, which is basically saying this is where I'm copying from. And now we're going to scroll up and to the left to copy and overwrite the vest. See that? And as you go left to right, you've basically taken out the photographer assistant's vest right here. Now, is that the final image? Of course not. So let's go ahead and select the horizon here where the sky meets the trees. Again, keeping left alt pressed. Let's click on the left cursor button on the mouse and then let go of both. We've now selected this part of the image to use to overwrite the photographer's assistant. And in similar fashion, we'll scroll right over and we will scroll up and down using the same principles to get rid of the photographer's assistant. Now you might have to go through this a couple of times because the area where you may be covering may not be enough or have enough room. So again, I will select the horizon here again, go over here, and I will use the same method to go over the left there. It's starting to look a little bit better. As you can see, it's not very difficult to get a very clean looking image that at first glance you can't really tell there was a photographer's assistant. Now that I've reset my image, let's jump over to tool number 2, which is the content aware fill tool that I told you about. Where you can find this is you go to edit and then it is content aware fill. But first, what you need to do is you need to tell Photoshop what you want to remove from your photo. So let's start off by left clicking on the lasso tool located here. You are basically going to select your photographer's assistant in this image. I'm not being too careful because you generally get the idea, but now you've got a path created around the photographer's assistant that you want to remove. Now that the path has been created, we can go to edit, and now content aware fill is available for us as an option. Let's go ahead and click on content aware fill. Photoshop will analyze your photo and look at the entire photo to see what are some of the sections that I can use to overwrite this part of the image. I usually go with the default and simply click on OK. And what Photoshop does is it creates a separate layer with that portion that was taken out. If we press Ctrl D, it will deselect the path to show you what it looks like without the path roaming around. And now you've got both the background as well as the path. What you want to do is press Ctrl E to combine the two. Because any changes we make now, we want to make sure that it applies to the image, which is the background. So as you can see, this is another method of quickly removing objects from your photo that you may not want to deliver in your final product to your customer, such as, a photographer's assistant in the background. So we went over the clone stamp tool as well as the content aware fill tool. There you have it, folks. I know this tutorial was a little bit longer, but it was really important that I showed you each of these two tools and how to use them to remove objects that you don't want in photos. So I hope you liked it and I hope it helped. Again, would really appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and hey, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think of the video, or if you have any other questions or comments. I would love to hear from you. So until the next video, keep capturing, keep editing, and see you soon. Bye everyone.